Hello, this is Sherline of Kathanika. The story I have for you is called The Red Boat. There once lived a handyman called Marcus. Marcus lived in a small town by a river. Marcus was a simple man with little needs. Each day, Marcus picked his bag of tools in his hand and went to the crossroad. At the crossroad, Marcus joined his friends who were handymen just like him. Here, at the crossroad, Marcus waited with his friends, looking for a job every morning. Marcus was not very bright. He did odd jobs. Marcus painted fences, he mowed the lawn, he fixed the light bulbs, and he even fixed leaky taps. One day, Marcus was at the crossroad as usual. Marcus looked on as cars came by, and one by one his friends were getting called to attend to various jobs. Marcus wondered what kind of work he would be getting that day. Marcus stood looking eagerly as a shiny bright red car rolled up in front of him. A big, stout, wealthy-looking man who wore sunglasses called out to him from the car. "You there! Can you do a bit of painting?" "Yes, sir, I can," answered Marcus. "Get into the car then. I have a bit of a painting job to be done." Marcus entered the car. The big man drove off with Marcus sitting beside him. The car drove to the riverfront and stopped in front of a well-kept shed on the banks of the river. Marcus got out and was led into the shed. The big man pulled back the tarpaulin. There stood a small, sturdy fishing boat. "This boat needs a fresh coat of paint," said the big man. "I want you to paint it a bright red." "All right, sir, I will do it. It will cost you 2,000 rupees. "That's fine," said the big man. "But make a good job of it. Here is the paint, brush, sandpaper, and other things you will require." The big man handed all the material to Marcus and left him to do his job. Marcus examined the boat. The first thing he would need to do is sand down the boat and get it ready for a coat of paint. Marcus took a piece of sandpaper and began his work. While sanding down the boat, Marcus realized that there was a hole in the bottom part of the boat called the hull. Marcus mulled over the problem. Fixing the hole would take a little more time and work than what Marcus had agreed to, but Marcus decided to repair it. The mending completed, Marcus then carefully sanded down the boat and painted it a bright red just as he was asked to. The big man came to the shed in the evening and examined the boat. Marcus had done a good job. He received his money and left. A week passed by. One morning, Marcus was surprised to find the bright red car stop in front of his house. He was even more surprised when he saw the big man get out of the car and come towards his door. Marcus was a little afraid. Had he missed a spot while painting the boat? Marcus's heart began racing. He tried to recollect, but couldn't remember a thing. Marcus opened his door and looked inquiringly at the big man. The big man presented Marcus with a bank check. Marcus was confused. He looked at the amount on the check. It was much higher than the payment for painting. Puzzled, Marcus said, "Sir, you've already paid me for painting the boat." He tried to give back the check. The big man smiled and, pressing the check back into Marcus's hand, said, "But this is not for the painting job. It's for having repaired the hole in the boat." Then Marcus remembered the hole in the hull. "Ah, but sir, it was such a small service. Certainly it's not worth paying me such a high amount for something so small," he said. "My dear friend, You do not understand. Let me tell you what happened, replied the big man. When I asked you to paint the boat, I forgot to mention about the hole. When the paint on the boat dried, my kids took the boat and went on a fishing trip out onto the river. They did not know that there was a hole in the boat. I had forgotten to inform my family about it. As it happened, I was not at home at the time. When I returned and noticed that the children had taken the boat, I was desperate because I remembered that the boat had a hole. I immediately rushed to the river mad with worry and expecting the worst. Imagine my relief and joy when I saw my children returning alive and happy from fishing. Then I examined the boat and found that the hole had been fixed. I realized only you could have repaired the hole. You see now what you have done? You saved the life of my children. I do not have enough money to pay your small good deed. The big man gave Marcus a giant hug and left. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this story with your friends. Bye-bye.